tables and turn. Forget the bridge we don't build this time I let them.
Squaring off for the second time in 3 weeks, Philly and Washington are set for this Week 17 rematch. The Eagles go for their 4th sweep of the football team in the last 5 years. It's Week 17, and it's next.
Miles Sanders' first carry of the game. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The numbers for Sanders last week, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total scary. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a carry for Sanders. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
It's a second down run with Sanders. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Going deep here for Watkins. Again, his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 79 yards. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. There's a nice move, and unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Anthony Harris on the tackle. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Heineke. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Looking to throw, Heineke. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And he is the NFC reigning offensive player of the week. You got to think, all the guys that take the field each and every week, that's not an easy award. Always has to feel good to grab it.
It has to feel great because it separates you, at least for a week, amongst your peers.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates. They're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
From the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Kind of an odd schedule this year. These two teams getting their 2 games in very late in the season. Their first meeting just a few weeks ago, back in Week 15, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
Pressure gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's got a 1st down following a pickup of about 13 as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
What happened?
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll set up a throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up. Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Heineke. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Final play of the half here, Heineke. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we've come upon half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken just shy of the 10, and he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here we go. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
To throw again on 2nd down, Heineke. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And this one nearly picked off. Yeah, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll look to set up his blockers. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st down, it's Sanders. And he's got room. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 77 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they hit pay dirt on just 1 play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Heineke. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. Heineke. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. They'll run with Gibson. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Heineke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On third down, Heineke. That one caught by Gibson. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Heineke now. And he'll complete this to Gibson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 169 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep with the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Right back to Sanders on first down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be a 2nd down. Now Heineke. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. One last shot now for Heineke. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to